Hey guys, it's Muzzy here, and I've got another commentary today. The gameplay will be some the gameplay that's relevant, probably Nintendo stuff, maybe Mario or something. The music is by Cruisin or Robi, and what we'll be talking about today is the Wii U. So when it was launched, it didn't sell well at all. I think everybody knows it hasn't been selling well since then, and there have just been like one or two blips in sales. That sold a few consoles, but that's about it. And I personally think, and most people think, that is because there weren't any games on the Wii U that stood out. They had Mario in HD, which it was just the same Mario with some nicer Mario, and it was just Mario with nicer reds, and Luigi with better greens. It was, and the gamepad controls they put in there, it didn't do anything. You just make platforms and stuff, and all the games they weren't anything you couldn't get on other consoles. Like there was Black Ops 2, Assassin's Creed, and there was just nothing. And the only game after after 3 weeks, the only exclusive Wii U game in the UK charts was Nintendo Land, and that came with the console at the time. So they didn't have that game like the Wii had Wii Sports, and the Wii U just didn't have a game that would sell the console for them. So they had games like Pikmin 3 and Zelda, but they were pushed back, and now they're only going to be coming out in the first few months of spring 2014. And the problem with that is by that time everyone will have their PS4, Xbox One, or whatever. But they won't have any money for it, and I just don't think it doesn't look like the sales will go up. By the end of March, the 31st of March, when the Wii U launched, they aimed to sell 5.5 million units to make them a profit, unlike last year. But they didn't sell 5.5 million. They sold in January. They revised their forecast and they changed it to, I think it was about 4 million, and they didn't even reach 4 million. They sold 3.5 million by the end of March, which was 2 million less than the original and 0.5 million less than what their revision. So it's definitely not doing very well. Like in January, it sold, I think that was 3 months after launch, or 2 months after launch, it sold 57,000 units in the UK. When the Wii came out 3 months after launch, it sold 425,000. So they were never gonna be able to follow the Wii. Even if it sold amazing, it wouldn't have beaten the Wii. The Wii was something new. The marketing was amazing. It was something that people didn't really have very much of, and it just stood out as a console, and it was really well priced. And it was all over the social media and stuff like that, so everyone just wanted one. The marketing was amazing. It was really good. They showed people how to use it. The Wii U, nobody knows about it. The amount of people I've been speaking to, and then I'll bring up the Wii U, they'll be like, "Oh, what's a Wii U?" And they'll just be like, "Well, do you know what it is?" And I haven't seen many adverts for it myself. I think their marketing team just slacked off and thought, "Oh, everyone's got a Wii, obviously they'll get a Wii U," and it just didn't work out. And any ads I did see weren't very good. It was just a picture of the Wii U, Wii U. It's Sony's marketing campaign for the PS4, it's amazing. They've got all this backing already, and the Wii U didn't really have anything, and nobody really knew anything about it. It was just the gamepad, oh, you can play off the TV, and you can do this, you can do that, but nobody knew about it apart from people who were on the internet all the time. But there's some things Nintendo can do to boost the sales, and I think the sales they'll probably go up. They will go up when Pikmin comes out, when Mario 3D for Wii U comes out, and especially when Smash Brothers come out, because these are all the games that people love. So those would launch the sales, boost the sales. But nobody else apart from Nintendo is making games for the console, because nobody has the console. but nobody has the console because there aren't any games, and Nintendo can usually rely on their first party development, but they just haven't managed to. They just haven't sold. They're just not there with the games that they've made themselves. There aren't any exclusives for the console that makes anyone want to buy it. The fact that there are a lack of consoles means that Nintendo had a lack of investors, so they didn't have as much money as they thought they probably thought they would have a lot more money. So they could have accelerated the development, but they couldn't because they had no money. Well, they had money because they're Nintendo, but they just didn't have the sort of money they thought they would. And I think it was just a fact of they thought everyone would buy it because they had a Wii, and it just didn't work. And even Nintendo never admit they're wrong. They did. They just came out straight out like, okay, we flopped. This console flopped. But it's not the end yet. It's really not the end yet. There can be sales, and I think there will be sales by the summer of next year. But I think that's about all I have to say about this. Make sure to like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more, and see you next time.